Ryan Smith became a school legend on a Monday morning. Not officially. There was no crown, no ceremony, no dramatic music. Just a hallway full of people suddenly acting like my boyfriend had personally saved Westbrook High. Ryan, great game. Smith, that goal was insane. Can we get a picture? Ryan smiled through all of it. Warm, confident, completely used to being seen. And I stood beside him, holding my chemistry notebook, wondering when I had become the person everyone noticed second. That was new. Not Ryan being noticed. That had always happened. Ryan could walk into a room and somehow make fluorescent lighting look flattering. It was annoying, impressive, mostly annoying. But after the state championship, everything got worse. In the best possible way. Westbrook had won. Ryan had scored 3 goals. The school paper had posted his photo before the bus even left the stadium. By Monday, half the school had decided Ryan Smith was not just a soccer captain anymore. He was a hero. A very loud, very photographed, very congratulated hero. I should have been happy. I was happy. Mostly. Ryan still walked beside me. Still slowed down when I got stuck behind freshmen who treated hallways like group therapy circles. Still looked for me first when someone called his name. That should have been enough. But then people started looking at him differently. And then they looked at me. Not badly. Not cruelly. Just curiously. Like they were adding me to the Ryan Smith equation and trying to solve for why. At lunch, 2 juniors stopped by our table. Ryan, school paper wants a quote from you, one of them said. Ryan glanced at me before answering. Now? Just 2 minutes. The girl beside him smiled at Ryan. Then her eyes flicked to me. Oh, hi, Aiden. I lifted one hand, very gracefully, like a haunted Victorian child. Hi. Ryan's mouth twitched. He knew I hated surprise social interaction. I'll be right back, he said. He stood, then leaned closer. You okay? I looked at the 2 juniors waiting for him. Then at Mason, who was dipping fries into ranch with criminal confidence. Yeah, I said. Go be inspirational. Ryan smiled. Try not to miss me too much. I will. Suffer privately. He laughed and followed them across the cafeteria. The second he was gone, Mason looked at me. I hated that look. It was the look of someone who had already diagnosed my emotional problem and was about to be unbearable about it. What? I asked. Mason chewed slowly. You have a face. I always have a face. No, he said. You have a specific face. I picked up my fork. Mason. It's giving background character 5 minutes before a villain arc. I stared at him. That is weirdly specific. And accurate. I'm fine. Mason pointed a fry at me. That was the least fine I'm fine in the history of fine. I looked across the cafeteria. Ryan was standing near the vending machines, talking to the school paper kids. He laughed at something. Everyone around him laughed too. He looked bright. Easy. Like the world knew exactly where to place him. Then Ryan glanced over. Straight at me. His smile softened. For 1 second, the cafeteria got quieter. Or maybe I just stopped hearing it. I smiled back. Small. Careful. Ryan's eyes stayed on me a little longer than necessary. That should have fixed everything. It did not. Because later that day, the pink flyers were suddenly impossible to ignore. Spring school dance. Friday night. Music. Photos. Snacks. Dancing. Mason slapped the flyer with both hands. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. I narrowed my eyes. That sounds threatening. Before Mason could answer, Ryan came up beside me. He looked at the flyer, then at me. His smile was hopeful, dangerously hopeful. So, Ryan said, "Want to go with me?" My brain stopped. Not because I did not want to. That was the problem. I wanted to. Too much. But going to a school dance with Ryan Smith meant walking into a room where everyone would look at him first. And then look at me. Again. Ryan's smile faded slightly. Aiden, I swallowed. I need to think about it. The words came out too fast. Ryan nodded, like he understood. But his eyes went quiet. And I hated myself a little for being the reason. Ryan did not ask again after that. which was worse. If he had teased me, I could have rolled my eyes. If he had complained, I could have argued. But Ryan just nodded. Quietly, like my answer had landed somewhere soft and bruised it. By Tuesday morning, the spring school dance flyers were everywhere. On lockers, near classrooms, beside the cafeteria doors, even taped crookedly above the water fountain, because apparently romance needed hydration. Mason stopped in front of one and read it like sacred text. Music, snacks, photos, dancing. He turned to me. Aiden, this event was engineered to cause emotional damage. I'm not emotionally damaged. Mason looked at my face. You look like a haunted calculator. Ryan walked beside us, his backpack over one shoulder. He was trying to act normal. Too normal. That made my stomach feel worse. Near the trophy case, 2 soccer players called his name. Smith, coach wants you after second period. Ryan glanced over. For what? School paper thing, I think. Maybe the dance committee too. One of them grinned. They want the championship hero in the promo video. Ryan made a face. I hate that phrase. You love attention. I love winning. The teammate laughed, then looked at me. Hey, Aiden, you going to the dance too? My entire body forgot how casual worked. Mason made a tiny sound beside me. The kind of sound he made when he saw a disaster forming and decided not to stop it. Ryan looked at me. Not pressure. Just waiting. I adjusted my notebook against my chest. I haven't decided yet. The teammate nodded like that was normal. Cool. Should be fun. Then he jogged away. Simple. Harmless. Absolutely terrible. Ryan and I kept walking. For 3 steps, no one spoke. Then Ryan said, lightly, you don't have to answer right now. I know. I mean it. I know. My voice came out sharper than I wanted. Ryan slowed. Mason immediately pretended to be extremely interested in a locker poster. Ryan looked at me. His expression was careful. That made me feel even worse. I'm not trying to push you, he said. I didn't say you were. I just don't want you to think you have to go because of me. I stared at the floor. There it was again. Ryan being kind. Ryan making it impossible for me to be annoyed at anyone but myself. I know, I said quieter. The bell rang. Students started moving faster. Around us. Ryan hesitated. Then he nodded. I'll see you at lunch? Yeah. He walked toward his class. I watched him go. And unfortunately, Mason watched me watching him. That, Mason said, was painful. I turned to him. Thank you for your medical opinion. I'm serious. That's new. Mason put a hand over his chest. I can be serious. I contain multitudes. I started walking to chemistry. Mason followed. Aiden. What? You know Ryan wasn't asking the whole school, right? I stopped near the classroom door. Mason's voice dropped a little. He was asking you. I looked away. I know that. Do you? That annoyed me, mostly because I did not have an answer. Chemistry should have helped. Chemistry was facts, rules, reactions that made sense if you followed the formula. Unfortunately, my brain kept ignoring the periodic table and replaying Ryan's face. The quiet one, the careful one. At lunch, Ryan was late. Not very late. Just late enough for people to notice when he entered the cafeteria with the school paper kids. One girl held a camera. Another carried a clipboard. Ryan looked embarrassed, which should have been comforting. It was not, because everyone looked at him. Then, slowly, a few people looked at me, like my reaction was part of the story. Ryan crossed the room toward our table. He smiled when he saw me. Soft, automatic. Mine came back slower. He sat beside me. Sorry. They needed one more photo. Mason leaned over his tray. Did you pose heroically? No, he did. The girl with the camera called from 2 tables away. Ryan groaned. I should have laughed. Instead, I looked at the flyer on the cafeteria wall. Friday night. Music. Photos. Dancing. Ryan noticed. Of course he noticed. His knee brushed mine under the table. A quiet question. I did not move away. But I did not answer either. And that was the problem. Ryan had already chosen me. In front of the school. In front of our families. In every small way that mattered. But somehow, when the whole world looked at him first, I still wondered why he kept looking back at me. By the end of Tuesday, I had learned two things. First, Ryan Smith could look disappointed without making a sound. Second, that was somehow worse than being yelled at. Not that Ryan would yell. Ryan was annoyingly mature when it mattered. At lunch, he still sat beside me. Still stole one of my fries like our relationship contract included snack theft. Still smiled when my knee bumped his under the table. But there was a small quiet space between us now. Not big, not dramatic, just enough for me to notice. And because I noticed everything, I hated it immediately. After school, Mason cornered me by my locker. This was never good. He leaned against the locker beside mine with the confidence of someone who had caused problems professionally. "We are fixing you." I shut my locker. "No, thank you. You do not get a vote. That sounds illegal. That sounds like friendship." Before I could escape, Mason grabbed my backpack strap and started walking. "Mason, Aiden, I have homework. You have emotional homework. I prefer algebra. No one prefers algebra." He dragged me 3 blocks to the shopping plaza near Westbrook. It had a smoothie place, a thrift store, and one clothing shop that tried very hard to look cooler than it was. Mason pushed me inside. A bell jingled above the door. I immediately felt judged by a mannequin wearing a jacket it had no right to pull off. Mason clapped his hands once. "School dance outfit." I stared at him. "I have clothes. You have fabric. That is literally what clothes are. You need presentation." I turned to leave. Mason stepped in front of me. "Aiden, listen." His voice was still playful, but his face softened a little. "Ryan asked you to the dance. Not the entire school." I looked away. "I know. Then stop dressing like you're attending a parent-teacher conference in your own sadness." I stared at him. That sentence should be illegal, but accurate. Unfortunately, Mason was very hard to defeat when he believed he was helping. So I tried on clothes. A button-up shirt that made me look like I was selling expensive candles. A dark jacket that Mason called mysterious, and I called college admissions office. A sweater that was fine until Mason said it gave soft intellectual boyfriend. I took it off immediately. After 20 minutes, Mason handed me a light blue short-sleeve button-up. "Try this." I looked at it. "It's normal." "Exactly. You are allergic to normal confidence." I tried it on. The mirror was rude, because it looked good. Not too fancy, not too desperate. Still me, just slightly more willing to exist in public. Mason stood behind me, holding his phone up. "Okay, this one. No pictures. Just for reference." "Mason, one picture." "No," the flash went off. I turned around slowly. "You did not." He looked at his screen. Then his face changed. Not proud. Not guilty. Worse, panicked. My stomach dropped. "Mason." He froze. "I may have made a tiny technological mistake." "What did you do?" He turned the phone toward me. The photo had been sent. Not to himself. Not to me. To the group chat. The group chat with Ryan. For 3 seconds, nothing happened. Then Ryan replied, "Wow. 1 word. 3 letters. Enough to ruin my life." My face went hot so fast I almost needed medical attention. Mason held the phone to his chest. "Before you react, I am reacting. This could be good. This is betrayal. This is accidental marketing." I grabbed my jacket from the chair. "I am leaving." Mason followed me out of the fitting room area, trying not to laugh. "Ryan liked it. He wrote wow." Exactly. That is Ryan language for emotional collapse. My phone buzzed. "Ryan again. You look really good." I stopped walking. Mason almost crashed into me. "What did he say?" "Nothing." That was not a nothing face. I shoved my phone into my pocket. Unfortunately, the damage was already done. Because now I was imagining Ryan seeing that photo. Ryan smiling at his screen. Ryan thinking I looked good. And somehow that made the dance feel closer. Not easier, just closer. Mason bumped my shoulder. See? Catalyst. I glared at him. You are not a scientist. No, he said. I'm an artist. You sent my photo to my boyfriend and created tension. You created a reason for me to change schools. Mason grinned. You're welcome. That night Ryan came over. Not dramatically, not with flowers, just with a bag of chips, 2 sodas, and the cautious expression of someone approaching a nervous cat. We sat on my front porch while the sky turned orange. For a while, neither of us mentioned the dance. Then Ryan opened the bag of chips. You know, he said, you really did look good. I covered my face with one hand. I hate everyone. Even me. Especially you. Ryan laughed softly. Then his voice changed. Aiden. I lowered my hand. He was looking at me carefully. I don't want you to feel like you have to go. I know. I mean it. The evening felt quieter around us. If crowds are too much, we can skip it. I looked at him. Ryan Smith. Soccer captain. School hero. The boy everyone wanted in their photos. Sitting on my porch, offering to miss the dance because I looked scared. That made my chest hurt. I don't want you to skip it, I said. I don't care about the dance that much. You do. He shrugged. I care about going with you. I forgot what to do with my hands. Ryan looked down at the chips, then back at me. I just wanted one normal memory. I blinked. Normal? Yeah. He smiled, but it was small. No rumors. No confessions post starting it. No locked auditorium. No accidental family barbecue reveal. I almost laughed. Almost. Just us choosing to go somewhere together. His words landed gently, and that was the problem. Gentle things always found the places I was trying to protect. I looked away. I'll think about it. Ryan nodded, but his eyes went quiet again. And this time I knew I had put that look there. Wednesday should have been normal. It was not. By second period, Westbrook had decided the soccer team needed one more public celebration, because apparently winning a state championship was not enough. We also needed balloons, and a microphone, and an entire gym full of people screaming like Ryan Smith had invented sports. The pep rally started after lunch. Everyone filed into the gym by grade. The bleachers shook under too many sneakers. Blue and silver streamers hung from the walls. Someone from the dance committee had clearly been given a budget and too much emotional freedom. Mason sat beside me holding nachos. I stared at him. Where did you get those? He looked offended. Aiden. Never ask a professional to reveal his sources. You scare me. Good. Respect the craft. The lights dimmed slightly. The band started playing. Then Coach Daniels walked to the microphone. The soccer team lined up near half court. Ryan stood in the middle. Navy team jacket. Jeans. Hair slightly messy. Trying very hard not to look embarrassed. Failing. When Coach called his name, the gym exploded. Ryan Smith. People stood up. Students clapped. Somebody whistled. A group of freshmen started chanting his name like they had personally contributed to the win. Ryan laughed and ducked his head. Then he looked up. Straight into the crowd. Straight at me. For 1 second, his smile changed. Less public. More Ryan. I should have felt better. I did. For about 3 seconds. Then 2 girls behind me started whispering. Not loudly. Not cruelly. Just close enough. Ryan could literally date anyone. The other one laughed softly. I know, right? That was it. 1 sentence. No insult. No drama. Nothing anyone would even remember saying. But my stomach dropped anyway, because some terrible part of me had already been asking the same question. Why me? Ryan was still standing under the gym lights. Everyone was still cheering. And suddenly I felt very small. Not hated. Not rejected. Just small. Like I had wandered into a spotlight that was never meant for me. I stood up before I could think too hard. Mason looked over. Aiden, I need air. His face changed. Not teasing now. Just worried. I moved down the bleachers and slipped out through the side doors. The hallway behind the gym was quiet, almost too quiet. The music sounded muffled through the walls. I leaned against a row of lockers and tried to breathe like a normal person. That did not go well. The door opened a minute later. Ryan stepped into the hallway. Of course he did. He was still wearing that team jacket. Still looked like the boy the whole school had just cheered for. But his face was not bright anymore. It was careful. "Aiden, I'm fine." He stopped a few feet away. "No, you're doing the thing." "What thing?" "The thing where you say you're fine like you're trying to pass a lie detector test." I almost smiled. Almost. Ryan took one small step closer. "Is this about the dance?" I looked away. He was quiet for a second, then softer. "Or is this about me?" That hurt more, because he sounded like he was afraid he had done something wrong. I shook my head. "No, Ryan, it's not you." "Then what is it?" I stared at the floor. The truth sat in my throat, heavy and embarrassing. "I heard someone say you could date anyone." Ryan did not speak, so I kept going. "And I know they didn't mean anything by it." My voice got smaller. "But sometimes I think everyone looks at you and then looks at me and wonders why." Ryan's expression changed. Not shocked, not annoyed, just sad. Like he finally understood where the quiet space had come from. "Aiden, I know it sounds stupid. It doesn't." "It does." "It doesn't," he said again, this time firmer. The hallway went still. Ryan stepped closer, but not too close. Enough to make me look at him. "They can look at me all they want," he said. His voice was low, steady. "But you're the person I look for." I forgot how to breathe. Ryan glanced toward the gym doors, where the cheering was still going. After every goal, he looked back at me. In every hallway, my chest tightened. Even when the whole room is loud, he held out his hand. Not demanding, not dramatic, just waiting. "I don't want to go to the dance with everyone," he said. "I want to go with you." My eyes stung, which was unfair, because I had not approved that reaction. I looked at his hand, then at him, and for once I did not think about who might be watching. I took it. Ryan's fingers closed around mine. Warm, careful, real. Behind us, the gym erupted again. Probably for the team, probably for Ryan. But in the quiet hallway, Ryan was only looking at me. And for the first time all week, I believed he meant to. By Thursday afternoon, I had officially made a decision. I was going to the dance, with Ryan, as his boyfriend, in public, around music, and lights, and people who owned phones. So naturally, I handled this decision with grace and maturity. I stood in front of my closet for 23 minutes and considered moving to another state. Mom appeared in my doorway while I was holding 3 shirts and silently judging. All of them. "Aiden, honey." I turned too fast. "Yes." Her eyes moved from me, to the shirts, to the pile of clothes on my bed. "Are you choosing an outfit? Or are you fighting your closet?" "I'm fine." Mom smiled. That smile. The one that knew I was not fine but let me pretend for 3 seconds. She walked in and picked up the light blue shirt Mason had accidentally sent Ryan. "This one." I stared at it. "Of course you'd choose the evidence. The evidence looks nice." "Mom." She held it against my chest. "It looks like you." I looked down. That was the problem. I did not know if me was enough. Mom seemed to hear that thought anyway. Her voice softened. "You know, sweetheart, you don't have to become someone else to be loved." I looked away immediately, because that was unfair. Mothers should not be allowed to say emotional things when their sons were holding hangers. "That was very dramatic," I said. Mom smiled. "I learned from you." I made a sound that was not a laugh. Not exactly, but close. She placed the shirt on my bed. "Wear what makes you feel like yourself." Then she kissed the top of my head and left before I could say anything embarrassing. I sat on the edge of my bed and stared at the shirt. For once, the dance felt less like a test. Still terrifying, but less impossible. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed. "Mason, come outside. Emergency friendship situation." ***, I opened the front door. Mason stood on the porch with both hands in his hoodie pockets and the serious expression of someone who should not be trusted with seriousness. "Aiden," he said. I narrowed my eyes. "What did you do?" "Wow. No greeting. What did you do?" He sighed. "I came here because I'm worried about you." I blinked. That was not the answer I expected. Mason looked past me into the house, then back at my face. "You've been weird all week." "I'm always weird. More premium weird." I crossed my arms. "So you're worried by creating problems?" "That was not creating problems. Mason, that was chemistry." I stared. He lifted one finger. "A catalyst." I almost smiled. "Right? The great love chemist." "Exactly." For 1 second, we both tried to stay serious. We failed. Mason laughed first. Then I did too. The laugh came out easier than I expected. Mason pointed toward the street. "Anyway, I found a Middle Eastern food festival nearby." I stared at him. "A food festival?" "Yes. It's Thursday." "Exactly. First day. Shorter lines. Veteran festival strategy." "You're a festival expert now?" "I've suffered for this knowledge." I looked across the street toward Ryan's house. Mason noticed immediately. No. He stepped in front of me. "Just you and me tonight." I looked at him. He raised his chin, very dramatic. "The soccer captain has kept my best friend for too long." I opened my mouth, then closed it, because honestly, he was not completely wrong. We had not hung out alone in a while. Mason placed one hand over his heart. "Finally, he realizes I exist." "Stop performing." "I am wounded." "You're hungry." "Also true." I grabbed my jacket. "Fine. Let's go before the festival closes." Mason's face lit up. "It's 30 minutes away." "Of course it is." We left a little after 6:20. On the drive, Mason gave me a full lecture on festival food strategy. Start savory. Share everything. Never trust the shortest line too quickly. Respect dessert but fear dessert. By the time we arrived, it was almost 7. The festival was set up in a parking lot near a community center. String lights hung between tents. Music played softly. The air smelled like warm bread, grilled chicken, spices, and sugar. It was not empty, but Mason was right. The lines were not bad. He turned to me, proud. "See." I looked around. Falafel wraps, shawarma chicken rice bowls, warm pita with hummus, cheese manakish, little cups of lentil soup, and an entire dessert table that looked personally dangerous. Mason rubbed his hands together. "Ready." For the first time that day, I did not think about the dance, or the hallway, or people looking at Ryan first. I just looked at my ridiculous best friend standing under festival lights like food was a spiritual calling. And somehow I felt a little lighter. "Yeah," I said. "Let's attack the first booth." The first booth was falafel. Mason ordered like he was leading a military operation. 1 falafel wrap, extra tahini, 2 forks. The guy behind the counter blinked. "It's a wrap." Mason nodded seriously. Then 2 emotional forks. Covered my face. "Mason." "What?" "Sharing is strategy." The falafel was warm and crisp, with pickled vegetables, lettuce, and sauce that immediately made Mason close his eyes. He looked peaceful. Too peaceful. "This," he said, "is why civilization exists." I took another bite. It was good. Really good. Annoyingly good. We moved to the next booth. Shawarma chicken rice bowls. Then hummus with warm pita. Then cheese manakish, which Mason described as pizza's wiser cousin. After that came stuffed grape leaves. I stared at one. "It looks like a tiny green sleeping bag." Mason looked offended. "Respect the leaf." I tried it. It was actually fine. More than fine. Mason looked victorious. "See? Growth. Don't make food emotional. Food is emotional." By the 4th booth, I realized something dangerous. I was having fun. Not pretending. Not forcing myself. Actually having fun. No one was looking at Ryan first. No one was waiting for me to explain why I belonged beside him. There was just music, string lights, and Mason arguing with a menu like it had personally challenged him. Then we found dessert. That was where everything changed. The first piece of baklava was small, tiny, innocent, a lie. The second it hit my tongue, my entire body understood sugar differently. Mason watched my face. Too sweet. I swallowed. Yes. Bad. No, exactly. Then came chocolate halva bites, date cookies, nafe cups, chocolate-dipped mammal. After 4 dessert booths, Mason started slowing down. This had never happened before. He held a half-eaten piece of baklava and looked at me with real regret. Aiden. What? Is it too late to call Ryan? I smiled. Why? Because I have made a mistake. I looked at the tray between us. There were still 3 desserts left. This is your punishment. For what? Creating catalysts. Mason sighed, then ate the rest of the baklava. This punishment is very sweet. Exactly. Like the time I accidentally poured half a jar of jam on my sandwich. I stared at him. Accidentally. I was young. That was last year. I was younger. We both started laughing. Not polite laughing. Not school lunch laughing. Real laughing. The kind that made the people at the next table glance over and smile. After almost an hour, Mason finally dropped onto a bench near the edge of the festival. He placed one hand on his stomach. I have eaten enough dessert to legally become a bakery. I sat beside him. You looked happy doing it. That was respect. For food. For culture. For sugar. For art. I looked across the festival. Families walked past with paper plates. Kids carried cups of lemonade. A group of college students took photos near the string lights. The night felt easier than I expected. Mason leaned back on his hands. So, I looked at him. So, you feel better? I picked at the edge of a napkin. A little. He looked at his stomach. A little? Okay. More than a little. Good. Because my sacrifice was historic. I laughed softly. Then Mason's expression changed. Not fully serious, but close. Aiden, I know I joke a lot. That is one way to describe your condition. He pointed at me. Do not ruin my deep moment. I pressed my lips together. He looked ahead, toward the lights and food trucks. I was actually worried about you. The words landed quietly. I did not joke this time. Mason continued. You looked like you were shrinking all week. I stared at the napkin. I didn't mean to. I know. His voice was softer now. But you don't have to compete with Ryan. I'm not trying to. I know, he said. That's not what I mean. He turned toward me. Ryan is bright. Fine. Annoyingly bright. I almost smiled. But you're not less because of that. I looked at him. Mason shrugged, like saying something honest embarrassed him. You're Aiden. You're smart. You sing. You care too much and pretend you don't. You make weird mushroom faces. You survived my food tour. That last one is impressive. Extremely. Then his voice softened again. And you have people. Your family. Ryan. He tapped his chest. And the best friend in the solar system. I breathed out. Something in my chest loosened. Mason. What? You're really not acting like yourself today. He groaned. Aiden, I am trying to be emotionally supportive. I noticed. And you are ruining the atmosphere. I smiled. Sorry. No, you're not. No, we sat there a little longer. No big speech. No dramatic solution. Just my best friend beside me, pretending he had not just made me feel a little less afraid. On the drive home, Mason talked about the dance, the music, the snacks, the possibility of terrible decorations. Then he glanced at me. You don't have to care what people think tomorrow. I looked out the window. The streetlights passed over the glass. I know. You really don't. His voice was quiet. You're going with someone who chose you. I did not answer right away. Then I smiled. Okay. Love chemist. Mason pointed at the road. Finally. Respect. When we reached my house, I got out and closed the car door. Mason rolled down the window. Good night, Aiden. Good night, Mason. I paused. Then added, Thanks for tonight. His smile softened. Anytime. Then he drove away. And for once, when I looked toward Friday night, it did not look like something waiting to swallow me. It looked like something I might survive. Friday morning at Westbrook felt louder than a normal Friday should. The spring school dance was that night, which meant the entire school had become a hallway-sized group chat. People talked about outfits, songs, who was going with who was definitely not going with who but obviously wanted to. I walked in with Ryan beside me. He wore his usual jacket, navy and yellow, too casual for someone who could ruin my breathing by smiling before first period. "You okay?" he asked. I looked at a dance flyer taped to a locker, then at 3 girls taking photos under it, then at Ryan. "Define okay." Ryan smiled. "That means not okay. It means academically present." "I'll take it." His hand brushed mine. Not a full handhold, just a quiet little reminder. I did not move away. Then Mason appeared near his locker, or at least something shaped like Mason. He stood there with one hand on the metal door, staring into space like his soul had gone on a separate vacation. His hoodie was slightly crooked. His hair was messier than usual. And for the first time in recorded history, he was not holding food. I stopped. "Mason." He turned his head slowly. "Aiden." Ryan leaned closer to me. "Is he okay?" "I don't know." Mason blinked. "I had dreams." I stared at him. "What kind of dreams?" He swallowed. "Dessert dreams." Ryan's mouth twitched. Mason pointed at him. "Do not laugh at my suffering." "I'm not." "You are smiling internally." Ryan nodded. "Fair." I crossed my arms. "Let me guess. You ate the leftovers." Mason looked wounded. "They felt disrespected in the fridge." "You ate all of them?" "They needed closure." Covered my face. Ryan finally laughed. Mason leaned against his locker, dramatic and pale. "Baklava is stronger than people admit." "That sounds like a warning label," I said. "It should be." The first bell rang. Mason raised one weak hand. "If I don't survive English, tell the lunch staff I respected their work." "You'll be fine," Ryan said. Mason pointed at him again. "Easy for you to say, soccer captain. Your body runs on discipline." Ryan looked at me. "Does it?" "No," I said. "It runs on attention." Ryan gasped softly. "Betrayal." For the first time that morning, I laughed without forcing it. Classes passed slowly. Too slowly. Every clock seemed personally interested in reminding me that the dance was getting closer. By lunch, Mason had recovered. Completely. Aiden Miller, professional observer of disasters, should have known this would happen. Ryan and I walked into the cafeteria and found Mason already at our table. With a tray. A full tray. Burger. Fries. Fruit cup. Chocolate milk. And something that looked suspiciously like cake. I stopped beside him. "Mason." He looked up, innocent. "What?" "You said dessert hurt you." "It did." I pointed at the cake. "And that is exposure therapy." Ryan sat down across from him. "That is not what that means." Mason picked up a fry. "It means healing." I sat beside Ryan. "You're going to become a medical case study. Worth it." For a while, lunch felt normal. Mason complained about dance decorations. Ryan told us the dance committee had asked him to help move equipment after school. I pretended not to notice the way his knee rested near mine under the table. Then Mason looked at me. Really looked. Not joking this time. "You good for tonight?" The question was simple, so I tried to answer simply. "Yeah." Mason narrowed his eyes. "A real yeah." I glanced at Ryan. He was watching me too. Not pressuring. Just there. I breathed in. "A better yeah than yesterday." Ryan's expression softened. Mason nodded like that was acceptable. "Good. Because I did not eat my way through an entire festival for nothing." "You volunteered." "I sacrificed." Ryan raised his chocolate milk. To Mason's sacrifice. Mason lifted his carton back. Finally. Recognition. After school, Mason disappeared first. He moved surprisingly fast for someone haunted by dessert. Hurry up tonight, he called over his shoulder. I need to witness the main characters entering. You are not calling us that, I said. I already did. Then he was gone. Ryan walked me home. The afternoon was warm, quiet, the kind of quiet that made my thoughts feel less sharp. At my front steps, Ryan stopped. I'll come by around 7? I nodded. Okay. He studied my face. You're sure? I looked at him. At the boy everyone noticed first. At the boy who still noticed me first when it mattered. I'm nervous, I said. Ryan smiled a little. Honest. I like it. But I'm not running. His smile changed. Soft. Proud. Good. He reached for my hand. Just for a second. Then let go before making it too big. See you tonight, Aiden. I watched him walk back toward his house. And when I went inside, the dance still scared me. But not enough to stop me. At 6:15, my bedroom looked like a small clothing store had given up on life. The light blue shirt was on my chair. The dark jeans were on my bed. 2 rejected sweaters were on the floor, looking personally offended. I stood in front of the mirror and tried to convince myself that breathing was a skill I still had. Mom knocked once, then opened the door anyway, because mothers treated doors as emotional suggestions. Oh, she said. I turned. What? She smiled. Nothing. That was not a nothing oh. It was a proud oh. I looked away immediately. That is worse. Mom stepped inside and fixed my collar. The gesture was small, normal, but it made my throat tighten anyway. You look handsome, honey. Mom, I'm allowed to say that. You are legally required not to say it with that face. She laughed softly. Then her hands paused on my shoulders. Her voice became gentler. Are you nervous? I looked at myself in the mirror. Light blue shirt, dark jeans, hair that had taken too long to look like it had not taken too long. Yes. Mom nodded. Good. I turned. Good. It means it matters. That was deeply unfair, because it was true. Before I could answer, Dad appeared in the doorway. He looked me up and down, then nodded once. Nice shirt. I blinked. That's it. Dad shrugged. I'm trying not to embarrass you. Mom looked at him. You already failed by standing there. Dad raised both hands. I support quietly. I almost smiled. Almost. Then the doorbell rang. My entire body forgot its operating system. Mom's smile became dangerous. I'll get it. No, she was already gone. I followed her downstairs too fast, then tried to look like I had not. Ryan stood on the front porch. White button-up shirt, sleeves rolled, dark jeans, hair slightly messy, like he had tried to fix it and lost a peaceful battle. He looked up when he saw me, then stopped. Completely. For 1 second, Ryan Smith had no words. I decided that was my new favorite sport. Mom opened the door wider. Hi, Ryan. Ryan blinked. Hi, Mrs. Miller. Then his eyes went back to me. Still quiet. Too quiet. I crossed my arms. What? Ryan smiled slowly. Nothing. I narrowed my eyes. That is not a nothing smile. You look really good. My face warmed immediately. From behind me, Dad coughed. Not subtly. Mom whispered, adorable. I closed my eyes. I'm going back upstairs. Ryan laughed then. Soft. Happy. He stepped closer, but stayed on the porch. Don't. I just got here. Mom appeared with her phone. Of course she did. No one moves. Mom. Just one picture. Dad stood beside her. That means at least 12. Ryan looked amused. I looked betrayed. Somehow, within 30 seconds, we were standing on the porch like two people on a holiday card made entirely of teenage embarrassment. Ryan's hand brushed mine. A quiet question. I let my fingers touch. His mom made a sound. Tiny one. Still illegal. Ryan smiled at the camera. I tried not to look like my soul was leaving my body. After the 6th photo, I finally said, we have to go. Mom lowered her phone. Have fun. Dad nodded. Drive safe. Ryan smiled. Yes, sir. Then Mom's expression softened. She looked at me, not teasing this time, just warm. Enjoy yourself, sweetheart. I nodded. I'll try. Ryan and I walked down the driveway. His car was parked by the curb. For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. Then Ryan opened the passenger door for me. I stared at him. Seriously? What? You're doing the door thing? It felt appropriate. You're impossible. You look nice. That is unrelated. It's very related. I got in before my face could get worse. The drive to Westbrook took less than 10 minutes. Unfortunately, that was enough time for my brain to prepare 17 disasters. Ryan glanced over at a red light. You're quiet. I'm conserving emotional energy. For the dance. For survival. He smiled, then reached over and rested his hand palm up on the center console. He did not grab mine, did not push, just offered. I looked at his hand, then placed mine in it. Ryan's fingers closed gently. The rest of the drive felt quieter. Not because I stopped being nervous, because I was not nervous alone. When we reached Westbrook, the parking lot was already full. Students crossed toward the gym in dresses, button-ups, sneakers, heels, and too much perfume. Blue and silver lights glowed through the gym windows. Music pulsed softly from inside. Ryan parked. I stared at the building. My stomach tightened. Ryan turned off the engine. Then he waited. No pressure. No teasing. Just quiet patience. I looked at him. He was not smiling now. Just waiting. The same way he had waited in the hallway. The same way he always waited when something mattered. I breathed in, then out. I'm nervous, I said. I know, but I'm here. Ryan's smile returned. Small, proud. Yeah, he said. You are. Outside the car, someone called Ryan's name. He did not look away from me. Not yet. That helped more than I wanted to admit. I opened the door. The night air was cool. The gym. Lights were bright. And Ryan Smith, the boy everyone noticed first, walked around the car and offered me his hand. This time, I took it before I could overthink. The walk from the parking lot to the gym was not long. Unfortunately, my nervous system disagreed. Every step felt louder than it should. Ryan's hand stayed in mine. Not tight, not showing off, just there. Students passed us on the sidewalk. Some looked, some smiled. One guy from Ryan's team lifted both hands dramatically. Smith! Ryan glanced over. Don't. The guy grinned. I said nothing. You were about to. Emotionally, yes. Aiden Miller, former professional avoider of attention, would have hidden behind a vending machine. Current Aiden Miller just sighed. Progress. Probably. At the gym doors, blue and silver lights spilled into the hallway. Music thumped softly through the walls. Inside, people were laughing, taking photos, moving under strings of lights that made the entire room look less like a gym and more like the dance committee had bribed the universe. I stopped. Ryan stopped with me. He did not pull, did not say hurry. He just turned slightly and looked at me. You good? I stared through the open doors. There were so many people, so many phones. So many chances to feel like the quiet person standing beside the brightest boy in the room. Then Ryan's thumb moved once against my hand. Small, steady, the same way it had in the hallway when I finally told him the truth. I breathed in. Not really. Ryan smiled. Honest. I like it. I looked at him. But I'm going in anyway. His smile changed. Soft. Proud. Okay. So I stepped forward. With Ryan. The room noticed. Of course it did. A few people turned. Someone whispered something. Someone smiled. A camera flash went off near the photo backdrop. Not even aimed at us. But my heart still overreacted. Then I saw Mason. He was standing near the snack table, holding a paper cup like a proud aunt at a graduation. When he saw us, he pressed one hand to his chest. My emotional investment has paid off. I narrowed my eyes. Mason. He wiped an imaginary tear. My children are growing up. Ryan laughed. I'm older than you by 3 months. Emotionally, Mason said. You are both mine. I pointed at the snack table. Go respect some food. I already am. He lifted his plate. There were cookies, chips, fruit, and something that looked like 3 brownies stacked together. I stared. You recovered fast. Mason nodded solemnly. The human spirit is powerful. Ryan leaned toward me. He means sugar. I heard that. The night became easier after that. Not easy. Easier. Ryan and I took one photo because Mom had already texted me twice. In the first one, I looked terrified. In the second, Ryan made me laugh. That one stayed. People talked to Ryan. Of course they did. But this time, Ryan did not drift away and leave me standing outside the moment. He kept finding me, across the snack table, near the bleachers, in the middle of loud music and bright lights. Every time someone called his name, he answered, then looked back at me, like I was still the place he returned to. Near the end of the night, the music changed. The fast song faded. A slower one started. The gym lights dimmed a little more. Around us, people paired off, laughed nervously, or pretended they were too cool to care. Ryan looked at me, one eyebrow lifted. Dance? My stomach performed a small, unnecessary stunt. I should warn you, I'm not good at this. Neither am I. You're athletic. That does not mean I can dance. That is comforting. Ryan held out his hand. I looked at it, then took it. We walked to the edge of the dance floor. Not the center. Not hidden either. Somewhere in between. Ryan placed one hand carefully at my waist, like he was asking permission without using words. I placed mine on his shoulder. The first few seconds were awkward. Very awkward. Our feet disagreed. Ryan almost stepped on me. I almost apologized to the floor. Then Ryan laughed under his breath. That helped. It always did. We moved slowly, badly, but together. Around us, the gym blurred into light. Blue, silver, soft gold from the hallway doors. For once, I did not hear every whisper. I did not count every glance. I only saw Ryan. His eyes were warm, a little nervous too. That surprised me. Ryan Smith, school legend, soccer captain, boy everyone. Noticed first was nervous dancing with me. The thought made something in my chest loosen. Ryan leaned closer. Still feel like the background? I looked at him, at the boy who always found me first. After every goal, in every crowded hallway, under every bright light. Then I smiled. No, his hand tightened slightly at my waist. I said it before fear could edit me. I think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Ryan's smile went soft, the kind of smile that made the whole room disappear. Good, he whispered. The song kept playing. People kept dancing. Somewhere behind us, Mason probably cried fake tears into a brownie. And me? I did not step back. I did not let go. For the first time all week, I did not feel like the person everyone noticed second. I felt chosen. And when Ryan looked at me like I was the first person he saw, I finally believed it.